The purpose of cooking is to improve appearance, tenderness, and taste while making your food safe to eat. Proteins are made up of a linear amino acid sequence which is coiled into a 3D structure like Never mind, start over again. The purpose of cooking is to improve appearance, tenderness, and taste while making your food safe to eat. Proteins are made up of a linear sequence of amino acids which is coiled up into a 3D structure like this. This structure is held together by chemical bonds, which can break or form, much like the bond which holds these together. In mussels, the meat we eat, proteins form a network with pockets of water and fat, as you can see here. Think about your perfect brisket. Its tender, moist nature is thanks to these pockets of water and fat. During heating, the heat energy starts to weaken the bonds that hold the energy together, and if it gets hot enough, these bonds break. Both the protein network and the protein's shape fall apart. Once they're unfurled, their long, extended shape makes them more likely to bump into each other. If they do, they can form a chemical bond and come together, or coagulate. Of course, many of these bonds will break and reform again in continuous heat. But if the heat is very high, which happens easily during cooking, then only the strongest bonds will survive, which means that the proteins will be packed together tightly and densely, leaving no room for the pockets of water and fat which make meat delicious. The longer and more intense the overcooking time, the more serious the loss of tastiness is. But if that's how BJ produces such shitty food, then how can we figure out how to make good food? Meat tenderness is defined by two major factors: the proteins, which we already talked about briefly, and something called collagen. Collagen is a type of protein used in the body's connective tissue. It's everywhere in our bodies, but especially the muscles that make our meat. Collagen makes our meat tough and hard to chew. Nasty, right? But when connective tissue or collagen is heated, something magical occurs. Chemical bonds break in. Collagen melts into gelatin. This gelatin dissolves in water, rather than forming dry clumps like muscle proteins. That means when tough collagen melts, our steaks, chickens, and rump roasts become softer and more tender. Now you might be thinking to yourself, how can heat make meat both tough and tender? Yes, these reactions are completely different effects, so how you cook something is based on what kind of meat it is. Let's look at this graph right here. This line represents collagen. It starts out very tough, but then as temperature increases, it decreases in toughness due to collagen. However, this is protein. It starts out very tender, but as you apply heat, it increases in toughness. So the kind of cooking that you have to apply is based on the type of meat. An old chicken has a lot of connective tissue, a lot of collagen, which means that even if the meat is raw, it'll still be terrible and tough. So it's more important to apply heat slowly and for a long period of time to dissolve the collagen and enjoy some coq au vin. On the other hand, veal, baby cow, for the uninitiated, has almost no collagen at all, and its soft texture will be best enjoyed much closer to rare. Now all this talk is making me hungry, so I'm going to go eat.
Go.
I know. I'm sorry, aren't you distracted?
Rearrangement soothe their sad hearts. A few reactions later, their love life was toast, but the rest of us got flavor. just got flavor, what we crave the most. My yard reaction, the love of my life.
If you were a man, I'd be your wife. Mayardy baby, just tell me what to do to make sure my chicken reminds me of you.
Okay,
Byproducts, crusty and brown, creates the tastiest meat flavor many have found. These melanoid compounds have personality.